Hi, Shruti, how are you?
Hi, Zuko. I'm great. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for this time. We met in the first ever Web3 conference in Goa, right? That happened in India. So it's so nice to meet you
Right.
there, talking about Web3, talking about the possibilities, opportunities we can do together. And here we are doing this together, going to have a conversations around Web3, blockchain, and all the opportunities around Web3. So first of all, thank you so much for your time. Um, and thank you so much for willing to do this with me. So before we start off, would you mind to introduce about yourself to the audience?
Sure. So I am Shruti Jain, and I'm a final year student right now. I'm pursuing my Bachelor of Engineering in Computer Science and Business System from Chandigarh University. And I've been in Web3 space since 3 years now. So I started in 2019. I was actually studying about artificial intelligence, but I got to know about this term blockchain, and I got curious about this. I found the concept really fascinating. So I started learning about this, building some applications over it. I was a developer. So yeah, and last year only I started freelancing. I started building decent applications for different clients, and I landed a US-based startup that is Token Music. I worked a year for them, and now I am working as a freelancer for multiple companies and in touch with a UK-based startup as a blockchain mentor. So basically, I'm a blockchain developer and a Web3 content creator, and I help people getting onboarded to Web3.
Oh, that's amazing. You're still in college doing your final year of computer science engineering, yet here you are learning, creating in the hottest space in the tech industry, that is Web3, right? I mean, when I learned about Bitcoin in the year 2017, but I didn't get that conviction directly. I just hear the word Bitcoin, and it was in a tech talk event where a speaker mentioned about Bitcoin, how a person got that huge bought a single pizza with a huge number of Bitcoin, right? That was the first time I hear about Bitcoin, but until
Yeah.
2019, I didn't invest anything in Bitcoin because I was also a student back then, and then I don't have money to invest, or I don't even know anything about technology or anything about Bitcoin back then. But it looks like you have a great perspective on Web3, blockchain, and specifically crypto. So I want to know about one thing. When people hear about Bitcoin, when people hear about crypto or Web3, there is a wrong notions among the general people. Like they think of Bitcoin or crypto as something like a scam, or something like a Ponzi scheme, or something like a fake money, just an internet money, or something that isn't not a real money, right? So for most people, getting into Bitcoin or getting into crypto, it takes them a lot of conviction. It takes them a lot of time to get convictions into Web3, into blockchain, or something like that. And most importantly, when we see most people comes into Bitcoins or blockchain just because they want to earn money. Like there is a
Right.
notion that says, since I worked in an exchange previously prior to my current work, what most of the people think is if they invest 1,000 this week, they expect 2,000 next week, something like that. A quick money, a way to make get rich quick,
Yeah.
something like that, right? So there's always a wrong notions about coming into blockchain, coming into Web3, coming into crypto, right? So I want to understand what conviction it takes for you, what inspirations do you get that brings you into Web3?
So first of all, mostly what the myth people face is that they correlate crypto and blockchain. They just use these terms interchangeably, and I think they're the same. And but in reality, it's not the same. So
Yes.
cryptocurrency is just an asset that exists over blockchain network, and blockchain is a whole other ecosystem that exists for a decentralized world that is an alternative to the current traditional systems that we have. So yes, for sure, like there are a lot of hacks and scams happening in crypto industry right now, and people, a lot of people come into this space just because of money. But if you are into trading, then you must know that the crypto markets are highly volatile. So like you don't know what crypto will go. So like as a developer, as a vendor, I see this Web3 world, these crypto projects from a developer perspective. So like I research about the project. I like look into this its core, like from where it is originated and what utility is providing to the people who are involved with
Exactly.
this project. So I judge a project like that, and like for sure, like in Web3, you can make a lot of money. But the thing is the perspective with which you get into. So many people still say that crypto is a scam and stuff. But anyway, hacks and scams also happen with your traditional currency as well. So
Exactly.
it's just a matter of believing. And I believe in the concept, not the cryptocurrency or any project. I believe in this decentralized concept.
Mhm.
So this actually inspires me, actually like tempts me to stay in this space.
Wonderful. So, like these crypto fox people, some of the Bitcoin maximalists, they always say that they are here for technology. They are not here for money, something like that. Because when we see blockchain, at the end of the day, blockchain is just a database. It's not something wow, it's not something great or something like that. But uh, cryptocurrencies or tokens or Bitcoin, they are the best use case of blockchain. They are like asset that is built on top of like something blockchain, right? Under publicly distributed ledger technology. So right now, when we say people are there for technology, so many things are happening right now in the world of Web3. Even just 2 weeks back, we had first ever Web3 conference in India that is held at Goa. We see people building so many things, building some amazing cool technology which I have never heard of. Obviously, for me, I met some wonderful founders, wonderful developers who are building some cool technology infrastructure around Web3. So it's basically amazing. But when we look at the overall perspective right now, we are in something called bear market, right?
Yeah.
Like right now, the market is down. Investors are in fear or in panic. People are losing money. Like every day we can see in Twitter, people are losing money. Their investments are going down. Right. So would you mind sharing some of your perspective on this current bear market? And at the same time, though we are in the current market, beer market, some serious builders are building some cool, amazing technology, right? So, would you share some of your perspective on this beer market and people building during beer market?
Sure. So, like talking about beer, definitely many projects are going to be getting affected due to this because of the demand and supply curve. But the thing is, like, it is the best time to build a product.
Okay.
So, like, usually at this time, you may not get more investments or you may not get a lot of grants from the people because of the market is down. Even as a freelancer, I face a lot of difficulty in, like, dealing with the clients for
Mm,
payments and stuff. They are not willing to spend much with this condition of market.
mm,
So, the best time, it is the best time to build a product, and you can like I guess in 3-4 months, the market is again going to be booming. So at that time, it is a good time for marketing your product. So
okay.
this is the best time for building a prototype, for brainstorming ideas, for exploring more use cases of the blockchain, because crypto is just a implementation of the asset that revolves around the blockchain.
Mm,
Blockchain has a lot of many use cases in finance and tokenization, as you said, in NFTs, in art, in scalability, in provenance. So there are a lot of use cases of blockchain, and this is the best time to explore those, to build those products, and you can definitely market your product later when the bear market turns into bull ones.
oh,
So I think currently is the best time, first of all, because it's a bear market, so crypto investors would be highly willing to invest right now. ETH
mm,
2.0 merge is also coming, so people are expecting a lot from Ethereum blockchain. So this is a really good time to invest, I guess. Although I'm not a trader or investor, so I cannot give much advice on
mm.
investment or trading. But according to me, I think like it's the best time to explore more and brainstorm over the ideas that you want to build.
Mm. So you mean to say that beer market is a time to build, while the bull market is a time to market? Okay, wonderful. So, like, what do you
Right.
think? How is it like building in Web3? Because there are people who basically want to build only on Web2, maybe building with Facebook, Google, or the tech giant. But right now in Web3, there is no company that we can claim that can claim themselves as the giant like Facebook or Google or Amazon of Web2, right? So while we're still starting off,
Right.
while this industry is still at a nascent stage, how is it like building in Web3?
So building in Web3, first of all, is like a fun activity because it involves the community. So
Mm,
like building in Web2 is just you get an idea of the product, you like decide to offer people a service that you want to build on your own, and you want to be the owner of that service. But
mm,
in Web3, what you do is you first of all create a community for your project. You take opinions of the people out there, and like they can vote for your product, like if they like it or if they like want to be a part of it. So you build a community around that, and you work with those people, and it's not like you are the owner of that product or you are going to be regulating everything, but you are like you're going to be helping people to use that product, to use that service that you're providing, and that's how it like makes it decentralized and a product for people, not for a company.
Wonderful. When it comes to Web3, you mentioned rightly, it's all about community. First, you start building the community, then from there, you take opinions and feedbacks from the community and start building the product. But in the case of Web2, what Web2 companies, Web2 startups do is first they brainstorm what product they want to build. They build product, they take that product to investor will invest money, and then they market that product and start selling that product. But while in the case of Web3, it's all the opposite. First, you create a community, you build a community, you raise funds through community, through token sales or through crowdfunding, and you started building the product, and then you actually launch the product. That's what most of the GameFi companies are doing, and at the same time, the DeFi space are doing, right? So when we talk about community, when we talk about this building in Web3, what do you think? Which are the projects? Which are the protocols? The most promising projects that are building in Web3 right now? Or say you can also mention if you have any community that is extremely promising in Web3, or any project that looks extremely promising in Web3, right?
So first of all, like I have recently started exploring DeFi. So I liked this project Uniswap that I came across. So like I've seen many clones that are built for it, and like it's an exchange and a DeFi protocol that you can use for staking, yielding, and farming. So I think Uniswap is one of the most promising projects that I've looked upon and I've researched over. Next is, I can say, Compound. Compound is also a really good project that comes into play with the liquidity providers and other stuff. So these are some projects that I think are going to be sustaining in the market and are going to be used for long term, and like just be the big dogs of Web3 DeFi industry. So like just the same way, Ethereum is still the most popular blockchain for in the Web3 space. So similarly, I think these 2-3 projects will be the one who will sustain.
Hey, before I want to ask some of the questions from DeFi space, but before we go to DeFi, like, would you mind explaining what is DeFi to the audience? Like, what is DeFi on a very basic level? What is DeFi?
So DeFi is like it's stated as decentralized finance, and as the term suggests, so all of the financial systems that are currently being carried out by central authorities, for example, banks or some registry offices or many other like institutions that are being controlled by just a single authority. And the main thing comes that you don't own what you invest, you don't own what you are saving. So like Web3 has brought this concept for people, that is decentralized finance, so that all these financial operations that are currently being carried out with a central authority could be carried out by some protocol, with the help of some logic, with the help of some smart contract code, and all the yielding and all the staking and all the like working of exchanges and stuff, they could automate that and getting people much better results than they could get with the traditional financial systems.
Great. That is a very like clear explanation to what DeFi is. So I also happen to do some bite of research in DeFi space. When we see into DeFi space right now, most of the DeFi protocols work with a concept of over-collateralized asset, right? So to take a loan out of a DeFi ecosystem, you have to actually stake asset that is more than what you are going to take the loan amount, right? But in the case of centralized, or say the traditional finance, for example, your bank, HDFC Bank, Axis Bank, or SBI Bank, when you are going to take a loan from those bank, you actually don't have to provide any collateral. They will give you loan based on your credit score or credit history, or based on some security you may provide, maybe through some job security or something like that, or government security, something like that. But in terms of say DeFi, you actually have to put a real asset, and that is also, you have to over collateralize it. That means, say, if you want to take out 5 Ethereum, you may have to put in 8 equivalent of Ethereum, right? So do you think this kind of strategy will work in the long term? Do you think this strategy of over collateralizing will be sustainable in the future? Like for people, for common people, for layman people, who like for daily normal people, right? Do you think they will able to use it?
Like it is a really good point to mention about loaning and lending in Web3 space. So yes, definitely it's a bit skeptical that you have to over collateralize your asset to like loan some amount, but there is actually utility attached to it. So whenever you collateralize your asset, first of all, it's mostly either an NFT or any of your digital asset that you keep as a collateral. So what it does is like mostly DeFi protocols with all the collaterals, they tend to generate some yield with that collateral, and that
Okay.
increases the value of the collateral. So like whenever you repay the loan and you get back your asset, it is it mostly most of the times it is appreciated in the value. So that earns you a real good profit unless and until it is a bad scenario. But usually DeFi protocols tend to appreciate the value of the collateralized asset, and then you earn it back if you repay the loan. So there is this is actually a profitable scenario here. But also there are many protocols upcoming. So I don't recall the name of the protocol, but yeah, I bought this project in the Web3 conference itself. So what they're doing is like you don't have to put any collateral at the first while loaning the money, but after some time you have to like just give in return something. So it was it had a bit different concept of creating
Okay.
this loaning scenario. But yeah, like the protocols are developing more, and more ideas have been putting into it. And because of the tokenization of the assets also, so it is really easy for
Mm.
people to collateralize their digital assets.
So don't you think that will be difficult in terms of decentralized application? Because say if you are taking a loan out of a DeFi protocol without putting any collateralized, in a DeFi, there is anonymity. You don't have to review your identity. You don't have to put your ID,
Right.
your real identity, right? So in that case, if a person, say, if I take out the money from the DeFi protocol that give me loans without any collateralization, then I can just run away with money, right? So do they have any other concept that they can solve this problem, or how are they solving?
Yeah. So what are they doing is like you when you don't put a collateral, so whatever investment you make with the money you take, the DeFi protocol has has their ownership over that. So
Okay.
what they can do is if you run away with the money, so whatever you buy from that loan or whatever thing you invest that money, so DeFi
Mm.
protocol can buy back that. So this
Oh,
is their whole.
so we say a person, a user can take out the loan without putting any collateralized asset. So in that case, to solve the problem of a person running away with money without returning back, a person have to make an investment through that DeFi protocol, and then DeFi protocol will lock his or her investment, right? So that means
Right. Right.
uh, a person, a user, have to use that platform, that DeFi protocol, for both investment and taking out the loan, right?
Right.
Okay, that means great. Thank you for that. So let's talk about NFT. NFT seems to be a big thing in Web3 right now. With so many utility,
Yeah.
NFT in music, NFT in sports industry, NFT in gaming industry, NFT in ticketing system, and NFT everywhere, right? So firstly, to discuss about NFT, would you mind like what is NFT in a very basic level, in the first principle thinking level? What is an NFT?
Okay, so NFT stands for non-fungible token, and it can be anything. It can be any digital asset that is meant to be unique, and it is meant to be rare. First of all,
Hmm.
so like any digital asset of yours, like for example, any art piece, any music, any animation, anything, any document, any contract, or anything that you can put on some digital platform, or you can if it's on paper, then you can convert it into a digital document. So that can be converted into an NFT. So basically, it is asset. It is real asset for the blockchain. Just like you have assets in your real world, your car, your home, your mobile phone, your laptop, or anything. So in the same way, these things that actually matter that belongs to you, all those things can be represented as NFTs on the blockchain world.
But right now in the NFT space, right now, there are so many um, shit NFT, I would say shit NFT or mean NFT that don't have any utility. It's just hypes. People are selling
Right.
NFT for millions of dollars, if not billion. I mean, some NFTs are sold for $1,000 of US dollar, right? Yet those NFTs sometimes don't even have any utility or say anything that has a tangible value. Yeah, of course, NFT at the end of the day, it says non-tangible, non-fungible. But can we talk about what are the value or what are the utility NFT is creating?
So like definitely NFTs that are just images of anything and like anywhere. So it's actually a shit NFT only. And these get sold just because of the hype just because of the chaos that people are creating around NFTs. So NFTs, like if I would say, is a really awesome concept in the Web3 world, because like it is a lot more than just an image. It is a lot more than just a monkey picture or any cat picture. It has a lot of utilities. So, for example, if we take a lottery system or an event, so what NFTs can do is like you can mint your tickets as NFTs. You can mint your lottery tickets as NFTs. You can assign identities. You can generate ID cards as NFTs over blockchain. So these are some utilities where NFTs have the real use case. Also in Gamify, you can create avatars of NFTs. You can create NFTs of the what you can call the weapons or anything, any asset in the game that you use, you can add them as NFTs because anyway people buy those in the games to like use them or play with them. They invest in those assets, so they can be considered as NFTs. So usually it's about the perspective of people how they see as NFT because I've got a lot of this criticism about NFT that it's just an image, it has no value or anything. But main thing is like NFT, sure, like if it's an image, you can like just download it. It is in your phone, and you just say that it's an image, it's on the phone, and it's not an NFT or it doesn't have any value. But the main concept is, if you have a US dollar note in your pocket and you're roaming around in India, then definitely it doesn't have any value, right? Because so this happens like where you use this asset. So if you're using this image, if you're using this document, if you're using this asset on blockchain, then it does have a value. If you are just downloading it and keeping it in your mobile phone or any device, then definitely it doesn't have a value because that's not the place for that. So this is a perspective that people need to change. So NFT is really much more than this, just an image, just a copy. It's actually a very great, ecosystem for artists, for the creators, for developers to post their art. And many NFTs have helped so many artists, so many musical artists, because in our world, the profession that suffers the most is actually this creative world. So people who create art, people who create music, they suffer a lot because of the money. And like I have a great soft honor for those artists because like I am also a sketch artist, so I used to do sketching, and I've got friends who sing so well and who create their music of their own. So like I really support it, and NFTs have changed lives of so many people, and I think it's going to be revolutionizing this area. So, but yes, until unless this chaos doesn't get removed, this hype doesn't get removed, real value of the NFTs won't be realized.
So the bottom line here is NFT has its value because the identity or say the address of that NFT is linked to a blockchain that live in the on-chain world. Amazing. Yeah, so we were talking about NFT, the utility of NFT, and why why NFT is important because the way its address or its identity is stored in a blockchain world, right? So I want to understand what are the myths that revolve around NFT, because last time when Jack Dorsey, the Twitter CEO, he just make a single tweet, and that tweet skyrocketed its price as an NFT, right? So somebody bought that NFT for $22 million. And after some months, I think just some 2-3 months back, the owner of that NFT sold that NFT for just 600 or something dollar, not even 1 million. He bought in 22 million and sold in some roughly 600 something dollar. So that's a huge loss, right? So there is obviously some myths revolve around NFT, some misconceptions revolve around NFT, right? So what do you think are those myths, those misconceptions around NFT?
So first of all, like people think all the NFTs are a great investment and all the NFTs will generate a great amount of money, but that's not the thing. So like it's actually about how you judge an NFT project. So like even like I have worked with many clients who just want to generate some similar art images, and they just generated with a computer program or something, and they just mint it, they just collect the money, and they just delete the website and they just run away. So there are a lot of clients who have done this scam, and people actually need to be aware of such projects. So how you want to judge, how you should judge a project is like, just first of all, see the utility that NFT provides. So many arts, they are just pictures of some like stupid images, either a dog or a cat or a monkey or anything, and they just get millions of dollars, and it actually doesn't have a value, because okay, it's just a one time thing. You just you invest in this thing for one time for millions of dollars, and then sooner or later it doesn't have any value. So is actually a really hype, hype driven thing that people tend to fall into, and they just they don't look behind the project, they don't look at the backbone or core of the project, that how it is generated, with what intention it is generated, and they just blindly invest into this and lose a hell lot of money. So
Exactly.
what I suggest is that like, look into the functioning, look into the utility that the NFTs provide, and research about, because surely the art NFTs and music NFTs may not have a utility attached to them, but just they are just for the sake of showing art to the collectors.
Exactly.
So like in the real world we buy art, we in the real world we invest in music, we like music, we pay for pay for albums and stuff. So in the same way, if you appreciate art, you should definitely buy those NFTs, because it would actually help some artists gain some money. So like, these are some categories of NFTs where you can invest, but yes, definitely you should research about the creator of any collection. You should research about the project that drives that NFT.
I think the first thing, just like what you said, when the person is trying to buy an NFT, they should look into what utility does that particular NFT provide. Because even if that NFT art, whatever art NFT, music NFT may sound so awesome, so wow or great, if it doesn't have any utility, then at the end of the day, that is worthless. It's just a piece of numbers or letters or a piece of data in a blockchain, right? And I can see that so many NFT creators, they just create NFT, they just try to sell that NFT and run away without providing any utility. And people who don't know will just go run into the bush, jump into the hypes and lose their money. Right. Okay, great. So can we talk about token and coin? There is a lot of misconceptions between token and coin. People think that tokens is same as coins, coin is same as token, or they are interchangeable. But it looks like if you go into technical detail, there is a difference between what is a coin like Bitcoin, and a token like ERC20 token or something like that, right? So as a developer, because you are a tech person, a developer, blockchain developer, so on your perspective, what's the difference between a token and a coin?
So yeah, like this is actually a very important concept to be understood, because like many people like get this confusion about any coin or token, and they just they just see a token as a coin or a coin as a token. So the main difference is, if you have seen, like all the currency that is attached to a project that is delivered by a project, that is created by a project, are all tokens. So what tokens are? Tokens are just a piece of code. They are just a piece of smart contract. If you are familiar, if you people are familiar with that concept, smart contract is just a program. It's just a programming code that is deployed over the blockchain, and it is a set of logic, it is a set of protocols that two or multiple parties exist, and they can use it for interacting with blockchain. So tokens are always backed by some logic. They are always backed by some smart contract. They have this set of rules and protocols attached to that regulates its transferring, that regulates its minting, that is creating the tokens, and regulates its burning, that is destroying the tokens. On the other hand, the cryptocurrency, the coins that we talk about, are the native currency of a particular blockchain. So you might have seen multiple tokens, millions of tokens on Ethereum blockchain, but there is just one cryptocurrency that exists over it, that is Ether. So cryptocurrency on coin doesn't have any logic attached to it, doesn't have any code attached to it. It's just a digital asset that exists over blockchain, and it doesn't have to be backed by any smart contract or set of rules or protocols. So it is just a digital asset that exists over blockchain and is used as a medium of exchange. On the other hand, tokens are the one that can be modified, that can be like their supply, their transfers can be controlled by some code logic. And this logic regulates this lifetime of a token. So like there are many standards, ERC20 as you mentioned, and ERC721 for NFTs, ERC155 for partially fungible NFTs. So these are some standards for tokens. So ERC20 is a fungible token standard. That means that you can exchange one ERC20 token with another ERC20 token of the same type. So like they are exchangeable with each other because they are identical in nature. On the other hand, ERC721 are the unique NFTs which cannot be exchanged with another. So it's like this mobile and this laptop. So I cannot just exchange them because they are not identical and they have different values, they're different prices. So this way, these token standards have been created. This logic has been created for different types of tokens. But that's not the case with coin. It's just a normal currency used as a medium of exchange. So people need to understand this difference between both of them. So this is actually a myth that a lot of people face.
That's a very great explanations, great differentiations to what a token and a coin is based on the technical terms, based on the technical level. So again, thank you so much. So looks like all these DeFi, token, NFT, all these Web3 utilities, Web3 products are built over blockchain technology, database technology, right? So when we think of blockchain, again, at the end of the day, blockchain is just another database, just like SQL or some kind of computer database where you can store information of the transaction data or any kind of informations, right? So what makes blockchain so important, or what makes blockchain so impactful like this? Because right now there are trillions of assets live on blockchain space, and blockchain, like I said, it's an open distributed database where everybody can have access to it, but nobody can own it, right? So what makes blockchain so important? What makes blockchain so impactful to this level?
So like differentiating between the Web2 databases that we talk about in general and blockchain. So main differences, first of all, in Web2 database, there is just one central server that is getting all the data that is coming over to that ledger or the database. In blockchain, what happens is, if I am a participating node and if you're a participating node, we both have our different ledgers. So you will have a copy of the ledger and I'll have a copy of the ledger. So there is there is no one ledger exists between us. I would have a ledger and you would have a ledger. And what we'll do is, like, for whatever update that we want to put into our ledger, I just broadcast it to you. I just send it to you that this is an update that I think is valid. And if you also think that it is valid, if you also think that yes, it is flawless, then you will add that update to your blockchain as well, to your ledger as well. So that's how, like, if multiple nodes are participating in the blockchain, then all of those nodes have their own ledgers. There is no centralized ledger. There is no one authority that controls that database. So all will have their own databases and they'll update their databases. They'll all sync together with this broadcasting thing. So like if any node updates, if any node adds a block in their ledger, they'll just broadcast that block and ask others to validate it. So if it is flawless, if it is bugless, then they'll add that block to their blockchain, and that's how these all nodes will sync and come together to a decision. So
okay.
So this actually allows, first of all, scalability, because if there is just one centralized database and it goes down, then all of the data will be lost. But in blockchain, what happens is there are millions of nodes, there are millions of ledgers that are syncing together. So even if it goes down, you have million minus one ledgers already there. And then it is highly secure. It is highly, it is highly it highly prevents the hacks. It highly prevents hackers to, just barge into the blockchain and make any changes. Because if any hacker wants to make some change in a blockchain, then he has to make that change in all of the blockchain and all of the blocks ahead of it. So this is actually how the architecture, how the structure of the blockchain is defined. That it is like, in reality, it is impossible to hack it. So blockchain, how it is provide this integrity, it provides a scalability, and the third term is anonymity. So like, because none of the nodes, none of the people will know your name or your identity over blockchain, over that database. So you have this like
anonymity,
random 64-bit address of yours that will, like, in no way you can know that who person is this. So this preserves your identity over the blockchain. So these are some things that blockchain provides, and definitely because you can see the whole like transaction history and all, so it makes it transparent and accessible to all.
Again, that's a wonderful explanation. In a simple term, it's like blockchain is a copy of ledger that is distributed to so many computers, so many nodes around the world. And to enter a database or to enter a data into that copy of ledger, everybody has to approve it together so that all the copies are synced at the same time in the same way without any manipulations, right? So this also makes it like immune to attack. So when we say immune to attack, if we say one particular ledger is corrupted, the other thousands or the other millions of cookies won't get corrupted, because to corrupt all, it's become technically impossible again, right?
Right.
Great, great. So let's talk about the Ethereum merge that is coming in the next, I think, next month, right? Ethereum 2.0. People say that this will be the biggest event in the history of blockchain, or in the history of DeFi, in the history of whatever people calls it, right? So what is Ethereum merge? What is Ethereum 2.0? What is all this about?
So Ethereum 2.0 merge is particularly about shifting from proof of work consensus to proof of stake consensus. So I just explain these two terms. So first of all, consensus is a set of rules and regulations. It is it is the rules of mining a block. It is the rules for creating a block. So as blockchain is a chain of blocks, it is like multiple blocks linked together through some hashing algorithms. So consensus is the set of rules that lays out how the next block will be created, how the next block will be added to the blockchain. So there are some consensus algorithms like proof of work that Ethereum has been using since a long time. And ETH 2.0 merge is shifting that proof of work consensus to proof of stake. So in proof of work, what happens was like miners are the people who add a block to the blockchain, who creates the block and they add to the blockchain. So these miners have to guess a number to just to create a hash of the data. So what happens is, so every block contains some data, and we calculate a hash of that data. So hash is just a fixed number of output that is generated when you put any size of input in an hashing algorithm. So it generates 256 byte or 128 bits hash, and it is fixed length, which changes with any minor change, which completely changes with any minor change in the data. So miners will have to guess a number, which when hashed with that data generates a hash output that is in sync with the hash that is laid out by the consensus. So what happens is, if the consensus is that you need to have 3 zeros or 4 zeros in front of your hash, so miners have to find a number that is called nonce. They have to find this number to generate such hash that contains 3 or 4 zeros in front. And if they do so, then the block will be mined, the block will be created, and it is validated to be added to the blockchain. So that's how proof of work works. Now, what was wrong with it is that it requires a lot of energy, it requires a lot of electrical power to guess this random number, because it is a very complex thing, it is a very time sensitive thing to guess that number. So because like the number can go to like any infinite number of things. So this nonce value is actually quite difficult to calculate, and it requires a lot of electric power, a lot of energy consumption, so it harms the environment as well. So people actually thought, and developers thought, the contributors of Ethereum blockchain thought that they could create a new consensus algorithm that would actually save some power, that would actually save some energy and save the environment as well. So proof of stake is the thing that they have come up with, and which allows all the validators. The validators are again the people who will add the next block to the blockchain. So they allow them to stake some of their ether, some of their cryptocurrency that they own to the blockchain. And with that stake, they have to validate a block. They have to say that if this block is valid, they have to create a block, and then other validators will approve that if the next block created is valid or not. And if it is valid, then the block will be added and they will earn some reward, and if not, then they will lose their stake. So in this way, they don't have to guess any number, they don't have to go through all that process of just randomly generating some number and consuming energy. So all they have to do is just take some money and just like bet on it that the block that I've created, it is valid. So the other people will also validate that, and if it turns out to be true, then they will earn a reward, and if not, then they'll lose their stake. So this is what 8.2.0 merge is about, shifting from proof of work to proof of stake. Although it also contains many other functionalities like sharding and other stuff, but main purpose of this merge is that
Mhm.
this shipping consensus
So
algorithms.
right now, Ethereum blockchain has more than 300 or 400 billion US dollar in its ecosystem. There are thousands of decentralized apps, decentralized applications running on Ethereum. There are thousands of DeFi protocols running on Ethereum. There are thousands of NFTs running on Ethereum blockchain, right? So what do you think? Do you think this merge, do you think these transitions from proof of work to proof of stake will affect all these protocols, all these applications, all these NFTs, tokens, whatever is already built in the, on Ethereum blockchain? Because if we see right now, Ethereum as a general purpose computer that is claimed by the Ethereum founder Vitalik, what do you think? Will this affect the Ethereum ecosystems? Do you think this will serve a good purpose for Ethereum as a whole?
So like definitely it will bring a good change for developers as well as the contributors of Ethereum blockchain. But yes, it will be, I think it will be affecting a lot of projects. It will be affecting a lot of cryptocurrencies. It will be affecting a lot of tokens that are currently on the exchange, because this merge is again a very very much determined about about the market, and
Mm,
it will definitely affect many coins. It will definitely affect many projects, because while shifting from some consensus algorithm to another, it affects the scalability, it affects the throughput of the blockchain. That means the how fast the transactions are being created, are being executed. So all these things are going to be changing, all these things are going to be affected. And since many of the cryptocurrencies will be dependent on the Ether currency, so as its price fluctuates because of this merge, their price will also fluctuate because of this merge. And definitely it will affect a lot of token projects also, because if the market goes up or down, so it will also affect the tokens that are currently deployed on Ethereum blockchain. And
mm,
if it affects the token, then the projects that are built over that token will also get affected. Yeah, like
mm.
I'm hoping it would affect them in a good way only. But yeah, let's see. Fingers are
Mhm.
crossed. Like really excited about this merge.
Yeah. Even me personally, I am excited about this merge. Not on the side of how other applications can be built over Ethereum, but in a way, it is going to make Ethereum faster, more scalable, and it is going to consume a very less minimal energy, right?
Yeah.
It's going to consume 99% lesser energy than the proof of work. So if it's become good, then great. But still, then on the other side, if we see on the different perspective, just like what happened in 2017 between Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, because
Yeah.
of something that happened, and some people started Ethereum Classic, right? So if today
Yeah.
the same thing happened and the Ethereum proof of work, some of the miners, the miners they are going to lose their business once the proof of stake comes, right? Because their work doesn't require anymore, right? So they're going to lose their business, they're going to lose their work. And what if these Ethereum proof of work miners, they say, hey, you can go for Ethereum proof of stake, but for us, we are going to stay with Ethereum proof of work. And Ethereum as an ecosystem, as a blockchain, it is an open ledger distributed technology again. So these people can fraud Ethereum ecosystem, and they can just create under Ethereum again based on proof of work. So again, it will disturb the entire ecosystem if that happened, right? So as a developer, you who is developing on blockchain, who is writing code on blockchain, what do you think if such a situation, such a scenario happen? So there is a conflict between proof of work people and proof of stake people. If that happens, how it's going to have impact or affect the entire Ethereum ecosystem?
So yeah, definitely. I think it is going to happen, because a lot of people are already on the proof of work consensus algorithm, and I think I'm believing there would be again a hard fork for this, and some people will shift to proof of stake and some will remain on proof of work. As a developer, so like because I've been developing on proof of work since long, so but definitely I would like to try a proof of stake, because the technologies, the perspective that is used here with proof of stake is actually quite fascinating. And like I think there would be like I'm not sure if it would affect the development of the products, like on a technical basis a lot, but yeah, for like scalability of the applications, the response time of the applications that usually face a lot of difficulty
Mm,
implementing that and achieving that, because most of the Web3 websites, the applications that we see are really very slow, and they are not scalable enough. They take a long time to fetch data from blockchain. So if this can be solved by proof of stake, and like it would all depend upon the experience of the developers on building on that. So I think proof of stake would be a better option for developers to build upon. But yeah, I don't think proof of work Ethereum will die any sooner, because it has a lot of user base and people have difficulty in transitioning, especially miners, as you said. So yeah, let's see. And like, yeah, I'm really excited about developing on Ethereum proof
Proof
of
of
stake.
stake. Oh.
But yeah, like some testnets have also been like they are being live for proof of stake Ethereum implementation, but like they doesn't seem to work perfectly, or like, yeah, like they still need some improvement and they're developing right now. So yeah, just waiting for that. And but yeah, sure, it will affect a lot of people, a lot of miners and developers.
Great perspective on that. So, Shruti, you have been developing in this ecosystem. You have been in Web3 since 2019. It's like 3 years now, almost 3 years. So, like how to become a Web3 developer like you, or how to come to Web3? Any suggestions, any idea how to start building a career in Web3 for those college students, for those young people who want to come into Web3, or even for those people who are building in Web2 and want to make a transitions to Web3? What are your ideas? What are your thoughts on this?
So first of all, definitely you won't be requiring 3 years for getting into this space, because when I joined, there was no one, not a single person who was talking about blockchain, and I was so like just like I needed a mentor that time. I needed some guidance, but at that time it was a really new concept, and I was finding a hard time to find people who are working on this. But now, because every second person is talking about blockchain, there are so many courses, there are so many resources available on the internet that you can learn from. So it won't, I don't think it would take you 2 months, more than 2 months to land a job in Web3. So you can, especially for college students, I guess it is the best time to start. And if you are a Web2 developer already, then it would be really easy for you to transition into it, because the stack remains the same. It would just add a layer of blockchain under it. And instead of just one central server, you'll be running multiple servers, you'll be running multiple nodes for your application. So it would be really easy for web developers at first, and also people who want to come into Web3, like they want to start with development with Web3, then also it's not that difficult. You just need to grab some you need to get hold of any one programming language, preferably JavaScript, because it is quite similar to the Solidity language I use to develop smart contracts. There are many languages that you can use for smart contracts, but I think Solidity is the easiest one to learn and start with. So you can just get hold of any language and just start developing applications over it. It is not much different from Web2, apart from the core technology that is built over it. So yeah, like you can just start learning. There are a lot many courses in YouTube. You can follow DAP University, Morales Web3, or you can follow the channel of Patrick Collins, or there are many resources. There are many courses on Udemy as well. And I also teach blockchain over Creator Club platform. So if you would like to, you can attend my sessions as well. And yeah, like even if you give like 2 to 3 hours to blockchain every day, then that's also enough for you to become a developer.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that wonderful, beautiful answer for people who want to make a transitions into Web3, people who want to make their career in Web3, right? So coming to the last part of our conversation for now, I want to ask you, like, what would be the meaning of all this? Now you are developing in Web3, you are going to be a star in Web3, a developer. So what give you meaning in life? What give you meaning for all these things? And most importantly, what advice would you give for young people?
So first of all, like I'm glad that I was Web3 as my profession, or I can say the space that I want to get into, because Web3 is so much more than just like sitting on your desk and working on your laptop, or just going office daily, or it is much more than your typical corporate world. It is connecting with people, it is networking with people, it is going places, it is attending conferences, and like you just forget about your work. It's the place where work and life coexist. And it is like it is a space where, like, in whichever profession you are, if you're from medical background, if you're from art background, if you're from some music background, if you're some corporate finance background, any person can get into Web3, because it is actually an alternate world, if I could say, that people can get into. And they can own their assets, they can claim ownership of their belongings. So any person can transition to Web3, and definitely on a personal level, I also don't want to be, just stick to this developer job. I want to explore more, and I want to get into creative part of Web3. I want to get into community part of Web3. So Web3 offers you a lot of domains, a lot of areas that you can put your feet into. And talking about advice to young is that just respect your skills, and respect your work, that whatever you do, whatever efforts you
Mhm.
put into, because you are not made for working 10 to 12 hours for some company and then also like not being appreciated for the work you do. So you need to respect yourself, you need to respect your talent, and there is no person in this world who cannot do better in their life. So everyone is beautiful in their own way, and you just need to just realize that talent, realize your capabilities. So don't let anyone take control of you and take advantage of the efforts that you put in. So you make efforts for yourself, so just make sure that you enjoy it as well.
Mhm.
So you're just not here earning money and working, is not even time to spend that. So just like working and choose people that you want to be around with. So yeah, that's it.
Mhm. Thank you so much. That's a wonderful sums up of sums up of motivations, or for people who want to make a career in Web3, for people who want to see a new perspective of how life is in Web3. Right? Thank you so much for your time. It's very wonderful talking to you. Very, very wonderful listening to the insight you share. I'm sure we will be able to do this again in the future. Thank you so much.